Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Empath Sisters. I'm Shelly,
Hi, I'm Bev.
and I hope everybody made it through okay with the Lionsgate. We'll touch on that
Mhm.
today, but we
Yes.
just wanted to talk about um, the question that we were hoping that people would submit.
Yeah.
I think we just think that maybe we didn't clarify, maybe,
Yeah.
or people just didn't understand, and
Yeah.
we
I
only,
think that's what happened, maybe.
yeah. So we're going to touch on that a little bit before we start on our episode. So,
Yeah.
yeah, um, we were hoping that we could have people submit questions towards, like, if you have any questions about, love or
hmm
relationship,
Yep.
or career,
Career.
that type of
Well,
thing.
literally anything, right? We can talk
Yeah.
about what anything. I think that what I was thinking was that I had a feeling that maybe people were wondering or thinking that maybe we were asking for questions like for us as the
Right.
Empath sisters, which we have done that kind of before. But this one, we were really, Shelly and I were hoping that it was going to be like, we just kind of wanted to give back in a way or just help answer some questions, give some guidance, that sort of thing. So we're not going to be doing any mediumship, but
Right.
just kind of like a reading from your spiritual team or whatever comes channeling through. So if you have a question, that's what we want to hear. We want to
Yeah.
be able to give you maybe some guidance or insight on it. And it's just a way for us to like give back because of course this is what we do and we love
Mhm.
doing it. So
Yeah.
we thought we would give you guys the opportunity to reach out and ask a question. I don't know, maybe you want to know what's coming up for you. Maybe there's this change or there's this issue that's going on in your life or situation, and maybe you need some guidance or clarity on it. And
Yeah.
so that's what we want to help you with. That's how we would love to give back. So we wanted to clarify, and we also will be making a post about it on our page on
Yeah.
Instagram. And so you can look at all the details there or just reach out to us. I think we're going
Hmm.
to have it, I think, Shelley, what the closing date, September 3rd, I think just before the long weekend here in Canada,
Yeah, I
um,
think so. Yeah.
just before our next
For the next
podcast.
podcast
So,
release. Yeah. And
yeah.
mhm.
So send us your question, please. We would love to assist and help and give back or whatever. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
please let us know. We would love to
Yes,
hear
for
from
sure.
you.
And like Bev said, just make sure that you go on to either here on YouTube
Yeah,
or on our Instagram page and or even our
yeah,
email. We will have
yeah,
that attached as well again. And
yeah,
even if you go on our Instagram, it will be there as well. So yeah,
yeah.
just submit anything that you want to know. Like
hmm
just making sure that you're asking, just one question so that we can give others questions as well to
And
be
answers.
answered. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one question, and again, we're not doing mediumship this time, so we're not going to connect with any loved ones on the other side. We're just going to be connecting with your spiritual team, your spirit guides, and
Yeah.
just kind of channeling through information for you. So
Yeah.
please reach out. And yeah, of course, you can reach out through our websites. There's links, there's emails, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of us. So
Yeah.
just look for those
Yeah.
and send us your question. And thank you for
Yeah.
that as well.
Yes,
So
for sure.
yeah, so just wanted to clarify that because that's what we were going to be doing today, but we're not going to be doing that today. So
No. So we're just gonna, like I said in earlier, that we're gonna touch on last episode and
yeah,
about how we were feeling with the Lionsgate and how things have been going in the last couple weeks.
yeah,
I do want to mention, like, the last episode, I did talk about having a sign from my dad or our dad,
yeah,
sorry, and how I just realized about the bird thing and how he was in my dream and stuff. But
yeah.
literally, like literally, I finished this, like stopped our recording of the last episode. And I know
Mhm.
for you, those that who have are listening to this on the podcast,
Yeah.
Can't see this, but
Yeah.
I do have to share. Like, it is crazy, crazy. But I
That's
ended up
so
getting
funny.
I got this text message, like legit, like not even seconds. And it
Yeah.
says, "Hi there. I just saw your post office offer on your Soul Goddess Care. Still available. I am very interested. David." And our dad is name is David, and I went, "Look, oh my god, like what is this?"
Yeah.
So it was just like,
It was so funny.
yeah, and like it just
Yeah.
happens to us a lot, and so
Yeah.
like signs like that. So that is proof that things like that happen.
Yeah, totally. It was
So
so funny. Because usually after we're done recording, Shelly and I will stay on and we kind of chit chat and
yeah.
whatever, catch up too. Um, so yeah, she was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" And it was so funny. It was awesome. I was like, "Okay, let's save it for
Yeah.
next episode so you can talk about it." It was so great.
Yeah,
So
it
science
was.
all the time. So thanks,
Yes.
Dad. Oh, I
Yeah.
had actually one of my clients who listens to our, I don't know, podcasts or watches us on YouTube. And she had reached out with a question for
Okay.
our next episode. And it was so sweet because she was saying like how, she heard the signs about dad, like with dad and all of
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff at the last episode. And then she was like, "Yeah, I loved your episode. And here's my question and blah, blah." And then she texted me again after that. And she's like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "I was just doing some like reorganizing and moving some things. And I just happened to move this box. And as I moved it, there was a dime that was sitting right there underneath the box." And she's like, "I instantly," she goes, "I thought of like your podcast and just I was thinking about like a sign from dad, and her dad is passed
Oh,
on." So she was like, "Thanks, Dad." And so she just took it as a sign for herself. So that was so cool. I
oh,
was like, "Oh
that's
my gosh."
awesome.
I said, "Well, thank you for sharing. I love hearing other people's,
Yes. Actually, and
experiences." So
if you want to go further about signs and
yeah,
dimes,
yeah.
Chrissy, my daughter, my
Mm-hmm.
oldest daughter, she sent me a photo and goes, "Look." And so in the photo, three
Yeah.
dimes all in a triangle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's like, "Look at this." So it was really cool. And yeah,
Nice.
they're just, it's so cool to just get these kinds of signs
Yeah.
and share
I
them,
love it.
right? Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
I was just like, "Thank you for sharing." It just warms my heart. And I'm just so happy for other people to get signs as well. So
yes,
yeah, super awesome.
yeah,
So yeah, that happened. Anyway,
yeah. So that
to
happened.
your sign. Yeah, that happened. Yes. And I have to say, if we're talking about Lionsgate portal from
Mhm.
the last time we were talking about, so Lionsgate portal
Yes,
was on August the
eighth.
8th.
Yeah.
And Shelly and I know we were talking about last episode how like our throats were very,
Mm.
what Shelly calls throaty. And and I have to say today was so much better. And I think this was probably the first time that I've come to record where I was like, "What is going on?" Oh my gosh. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with my throat. What? It's weird. I legit have not experienced that yet.
No, we have not. I
Yeah.
did, however, feel throaty, but this
Did
was
you?
like earlier, like way earlier before we
Okay.
started meeting, and I was like, no.
Ah, yeah. Not
Like saying,
today.
I was like, I don't want to be throaty today. So, so when we got on, I was surprised actually that I
Yeah.
did not do the whole, clearing and
Yeah, clearing the throat all the time.
so
Yeah,
it was great.
I know. I know. I saw some of our comments as well on YouTube about people also having throaty
Hmm.
issues as well. So that was really cool. So thanks for sharing that with us, whoever
Yes.
you are and who did comment. So that was really cool. But yeah, today, way better.
Oh,
Um,
no
but I have to
idea.
say, I was telling Shelly that every time we get together and we record, I feel sick
Hmm.
every time. Like I'm just like, and usually I am working right after we record. So I have clients that are coming or something like that. So it's usually, maybe I'm just tuning in or maybe spirits coming through and just kind of preparing for that. But today I'm like, nope, I'm not working today. I don't know what is going on, but I was saying to Shelly, I think that it's possible. I feel like I might be just don't know if I'm just tuning into the collective or, the viewers or listeners to the episodes ahead of time that it just feels like a lot. I feel a lot of pressure in my third eye and my crown, and just feeling really heavy in my solar plexus and my gut. So I don't know. I know that it's very similar to how I felt through the Lionsgate. I was feeling really heavy and emotional, and just felt like I was tuning into the weight of the world right now. And I was legit feeling so sick. And I cried like Sunday night. I just cried. I was in bed and I was just like, oh, I was so sad. I was so sad for so many things. And it just felt really heavy. And my
Yeah.
husband's like, honey, you shouldn't feel everything to the depths of your soul. And I was like, I can't help it. I don't know why I have to do that sometimes, but I did this time on the portal. I don't know if it was just a lot of intense energy, but it was a lot, but it
Oh,
cleared.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. And I'm
Well, that's
sleeping
good.
better. I know you were mentioning you weren't
Yeah.
sleeping.
No, I am not. I'm still not sleeping. Well, I shouldn't say that. Um, this is weirdest thing. So,
Yeah.
like, I know I had mentioned like my ear was feeling like there was water and stuff like that. And so,
Hmm.
this side of my ear, like on the right, where it was
Yeah.
bothering me the most, it has
Yeah.
cleared,
Oh,
but
good.
it's now on my left. And
Oh,
I started getting a little bit of that still. So, I haven't quite cleared that.
yeah.
I do know that like what the meanings are. Well, I don't in a way, but like I understand them just like personally. I understand it, where they're trying to communicate in me,
Yeah.
what to do and stuff like that. But sleeping,
Mm.
I was saying like I dream like I literally dream every night. Every
Yeah.
night I'm doing something like you too. Bet I know you do
Hmm.
too, and I know I probably mentioned this before, but when it was the day before the Lionsgate, I decided to take my stones out of my pillows and my nightstand and under my bed that I keep. I do literally
Your whole
have like
collection.
I have like at least 4 stones. And so I took them out because I was like, oh, I want to cleanse them in the new moon and da 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 da. So I left them outside to whatever. And I said to my husband, I was like, just so you know, I'm not going to be protected all night. That's just how I felt because I was like, those stones are my protection. So anyway,
Oh
I
my
put them out
gosh.
there and weirdest thing. So
Yeah.
then
What
I'm
happened?
sleeping. I am
Hmm.
sleeping, like knocked out. My husband even said I even talked out loud, and I don't talk in my sleep. And apparently I did that
Oh
day.
my gosh.
And I legit slept. So I had
Yeah.
my stones out on that Saturday. Then the Sunday
Hmm.
was the Lionsgate. I still had them out there. I did not.
Yeah.
Finally, Dwayne was like, "Are you going to bring your stones in?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, not ready yet." I just had this like, I'm not ready to bring the stuff.
So good. I don't need them right now.
Yeah. So I was
Gosh,
like, no, I'm not ready
that's
to bring
funny.
them in. So I think I finally brought them in on Tuesday. Like I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, time to bring them in.
Yeah.
And so I brought them in and I put them back where I normally do.
Yeah.
And boom, I am not sleeping. I,
Oh, that's funny.
but I'm dreaming. Like, and when I was
Yeah.
sleeping, I was dreaming, but I couldn't remember them.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, which was very interesting because
Hmm.
I always remember
Yeah.
something out of my dream.
Hmm.
And again, I was really bad. I have not recorded or written anything again. I'm so bad.
They're like,
So
when will she ever learn?
I know, I know. And so
Oh my
I put them
gosh.
back, and then all of a sudden now I'm not sleeping. I'm literally getting up at
Yeah.
that time, like either 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then at
Hmm.
6:30, and then I try to go back to sleep, but I can't. I've been up every day at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I just
Yeah.
can't sleep.
Did you cleanse them? Maybe you should just clear them.
I think I'm going to have to cleanse them again.
Just
Yeah,
try it. Just
I
give them a
will.
clear. Maybe something came through, when you had them out on the portal and the new moon, right?
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe something attached to them or
Hmm.
whatever. So I would
Yeah.
say clear them. That's what I'm feeling. And
Okay.
another thing I'm feeling like lately is ascension symptoms. Again, for me,
Oh, yes. Yes.
metaphysically, I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what is
Hmm.
going on now? What's happening? So,
I know.
oh, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, the full moon is on Sunday. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need a break.
No wonder. Okay.
Like,
I
why is there
sometimes I'm
portal
really,
new moon?
yeah, I'm really bad for following when it is. Like I'm really
Okay.
bad for that. But that totally makes sense now
Yeah.
because I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Literally, things have been happening lately where I even
Yeah.
just think it
Yeah.
and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll turn around and I'll go, what just happened?
Freaky.
Like literally like this. Sorry for all those like listeners. I do say literally a lot and I apologize, but this literally happened. My husband and I were going for a walk and we were talking about this couple that we know who
Mm-hmm.
was going to get married, but they ended up getting married
Mm-hmm.
and they were supposed to have like a reception and all that kind of stuff in October. And I
Okay.
said to Dwayne, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, we forgot to RSVP. Like,
Oh,
if we're going to go or not. And I said, we need to contact them.
yeah.
And this was like late night, like we were walking because it's been
In the
super hot.
evening.
So we don't, yeah,
Right.
we don't go out for a walk until it's late evening. So it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And that
Mm-hmm.
I had said this to him. Next day,
Yeah.
I go to the mail. We get a card from them
Yeah.
saying that they had already been getting married. They're not going to have a reception. And all this. And I literally showed Dwayne. Dwayne was like, what? I was like, I know. But just little things like that has been literally happening to me. I just
Oh,
think it or say it, it's happening.
yeah.
It's crazy how much it's
It
been doing
is.
that. Yeah,
It's
for sure.
crazy, but then it's kind of not crazy. That's
No,
how I look at it because
yeah.
it's like it's so cool and amazing. And at the
Hmm.
same time, I'm like, wow, that's so freaky. I
Yes.
think it's just like that, the understanding part of me, and then I come into the human part of me. I was like, oh,
Right.
what?
Okay. That's
How
what I was
can this
just going to
happen?
say.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's what happens to me every time things like that happen. I'll be like, ding, oh, this person will just come in my awareness and then boom, I'll hear from them.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I haven't seen this person in a while. Boom, they book it and it's like,
Hmm.
okay. Sometimes I'm
Yep.
just like, am I making this happen? Or am I just like really tuning into like what's coming up, and just getting
Yes.
that forewarning or that premonition or
Yes.
that knowing ahead of time. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
That
know. It's
happened to
so
me.
cool.
That happened to me today. Literally today again.
That's
Same
awesome.
thing. Because I did the
Awesome.
same thing. I had a client
Hmm.
who had bought in a gift card.
Oh yeah.
And I've had this gift card, like the gift certificate, at my office for like
Mm-hmm.
weeks. And I've been like, oh my gosh, I have to contact this person because I'm
Yeah.
closing my business and I
Right.
only have so many spots left.
Yeah. Before you
And
move.
yeah, and
Hmm.
I had just again said it yesterday. I
Yeah.
said, oh my gosh, I have to reach out to that person. I'm going to reach out to them today
Yeah.
and let them know, like, I only have so many spots.
Yeah.
Well, they beat me to it. They phoned
Hmm.
me and
Hmm.
she did say, she goes, oh, you must have put it out there because I said yes. So we
Yeah.
got to talk
Sorry.
and yeah, and then I booked her in and everything and made it work. But yeah, like
Good.
things like that. And I agree with you. It's just like you just go, like, oh my
Yeah. It's so
Lord.
cool.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
signs and like everything else. It's like,
Right.
I don't know. It's still so cool. It's like so normal to me, but at the same time, it's still like I get blown away by it. It's so cool.
Yes.
I love it.
It's
So,
so amazing how it works.
yeah.
And especially if you're really what you just said, attuned, right? Like when
Yeah.
you're really attuned, it's totally flowing and making it flow. right?
Yeah.
And so it's just it's crazy
Or then
sometimes.
when you get in your head, Shelly, and then it's not really flowing. It's like, but it's so cool. That's the difference of like
Mhm.
being in your head and then just being intuitively just present and in the moment and just letting things flow and happen, which
Yeah.
is so great. Um, and just I don't know, it's also to kind of, I guess, show people what you think about, you bring about, what
Hmm.
you put out there, like how powerful that is.
Yeah.
So, and I always say to clients, like, be mindful.
Hmm.
Guides say this to me all the time to my clients to
Yeah.
tell them, like, be mindful of the things that you are thinking about, negative and positive, because, you know, we can think about all these positive things, but it's also happening with negative things as well that we
Right.
can also put out there and bring forward. So, yeah, so just a good reminder, people, what you think about, you bring about, what you're putting out there into the universe, be mindful of the positive and negative things that you're putting out there. Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, your spiritual team will get on creating this experience for you. So if
Hmm.
there's something you don't want to experience, don't put it out there,
Right.
because right away they're like, oh, you want to experience that? Okay. And it will happen. And that's why people are like, oh my gosh, this always happens to me, or I
Yeah.
said this and then it happened to me. I don't want that to be in a negative way. I would love for that to be like turned around into more of a positive way. So put out there what it is that you do want. And if you catch yourself, if you have that awareness of putting something out there negative and you are mindful about it, just cancel the order. Just be like, even if it's just a thought that pops in, just be like, no, I don't want to experience that.
And you
Just,
can say cancel
you
that.
can
Like even if you
stop
have to
it.
say
Just
cancel. Yeah.
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 Just no, I don't want to experience that. No, thank you. I do that a lot. Something will pop in and I'm like, no,
Hmm. I do that too.
want that. But this and that, sure. Yeah, I'm open to receiving that, bring that forward. But
Hmm.
yeah, so just be mindful. But yeah,
Yes.
so Lionsgate was crazy for me. Throat's much better. I had acupuncture on Monday, so that really helped just kind of clear everything
Hmm.
for me in my field and what was kind of going on. So I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, my sleep has been super deep, just hours and hours and hours, which never happens for me. Still traveling, still remember everything, but just feeling way more rested, which
That's
is
good.
awesome. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
definitely been a little bit more spiritually depleted. Like my body can go, but just seems spiritually I was a little bit depleted at
Well,
that point,
yeah.
but
It
better.
definitely can affect you mentally, and so
Mm-hmm. Of
that affects your body and then you get,
course.
physically tired. And so when you're
Yep.
getting that rest and all that, it just helps also refresh yourself, right? So, which is good.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm
I'm in
glad to hear that.
recharge. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
recharging right now, which is so great. So yeah, love it. I'm super happy about it. And my dreams have been, I don't know, really bizarre.
Mm.
I feel like just they've been very different, and I feel like going places maybe I have not been before, um, and just I don't know, it's just very different, it's a whole different feel. So, and I
I
had a really
just
crazy dream last night too.
I just thought of something. It
Cool.
literally just popped in my head saying
Yeah,
that because we just talked about this last week and you just
yeah,
bought a stone that
hmm,
does do that. You know that, right?
oh yes, I know,
Okay. Or have
totally.
you been wearing it?
Yeah.
That's why.
No, no. I've been like warming myself up to it. We're
Okay.
starting to become
But is it
acquainted with
in your
one another,
bedroom?
but that's about it.
Is it in your
Yes.
bedroom? Don't put it in your
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah,
They
I'm
literally
gonna
say
have
you
to
do
move
not
it.
put that in the bedroom. Yeah.
Well, I
So the
like sit
stone
with
that
it
we're
in the
talking
evening, but
yeah, the
never
stone that
put
we're
it away.
talking about, is actually called moldavite. And
Yeah.
it's a very powerful
Mm-hmm.
stone, and so it can actually do that. And they do say that you should not have it in your bedroom until you are, you know, wearing it and connected with it, and because it can give you those kinds of things. So it just made me. They just like said she's wearing moldavite. Like I
Mm.
was like, okay, because
Yeah.
I also have moldavite, and I've had You know. Hmm.
Are you having another epiphany?
Yeah.
Just watching your face. Like, where did you go?
Sorry. I just realized something because I did the same thing with my Moldavite. I went and I put it in the lunar, like in the night to, so I probably have to do something with that. So.
I'm so glad we have these conversations because it's almost like we're just talking things out and then we get so much clarity for each other. Like, and
Yeah.
maybe you all can learn from the things that we're
Us.
doing as well. So yeah, don't do the things that we do.
Yeah. Oh, and if we are talking about Moldavite,
Yeah.
only get Moldavite if you're called to. Don't just get it
Yeah. Oh, of
because
course.
it's like for
Mhm.
any other stone out there. If you are called to get it or you feel you are to get it and like that, then
Yeah.
fine, but do not get it just because, oh, it's pretty or, oh, I heard about it. It literally has to, you have to be called to get that stone. It's,
Totally.
yeah, just,
It accelerates things, and if
yes,
you're not ready for it, then you should not have it.
right.
So it's, and that's why I haven't had moldavite at all at this point until then, because, and I actually got mine on the Lionsgate portal. That
Yeah,
was the day that they were like, it's time.
yeah,
And so that then I, ended up getting a little piece, but it has never been time for me prior
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, me
So,
neither until my time, like when I got mine, and I got mine a couple months ago. And
yeah.
honestly, to tell you the truth, it has worked great for me. Honestly, like things
Hmm.
have been rolling really
Yeah.
fast for me, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's been great. Like even the first day I wore it, the most, what would you call that? It was it like
I don't know. It was an interesting experience. That's all I could really
yeah.
say
Uh,
about it.
I don't know if I should talk about it today or on another episode, but it was
Yeah.
the most, like I don't even know how to explain it. It is just
Hmm.
mind blowing, I guess, really.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so interesting.
it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, yeah. Don't get moldavite unless you're ready,
Yeah.
unless you're guided to.
That's
That's
right. Yes,
basically
let's
the
just leave
gist
it
of
at
all of
that.
this.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
like
it's
like
been,
Bev said, yeah, make sure that you are called to get it, because if you're not,
yeah,
don't, because like she said, if you're not ready for it, it's definitely intense. So just
for sure.
be
And
careful with it.
some are actually never meant to have moldavite
That's right.
or like have it around them.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
just have it as one of those pieces that possibly, if you get called to using it, it's divine timing, then you will
Hmm.
get it. And
Yeah.
if it's not, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, it's like any stone. Like I've
Yeah,
been told,
of course.
malachite can be very strong, and it is a
Hmm.
very strong stone, and
Yes.
it can affect people in different ways. So, like
Yeah, of
again,
course.
it's no different than any other stones out there. If you do not feel called to it, do not use it.
Yeah,
When you are called to it, then go ahead and use
go
it,
ahead.
because that your body knows and yourself knows when to use um, these stones. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I
Hmm.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been, I feel like I've been on a roller coaster ride, honestly, in this last like 2 weeks. It just
Yeah,
feels, and
me
now
too.
going into this full moon, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm hoping to have a good break after that. I'm legit just putting that out there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was on Sunday. So, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Totally makes sense now.
Yeah. Oh,
Why?
and you're traveling this weekend, aren't you?
Hmm.
So are you staying in like a hotel?
I am.
Oh, boy.
I
Maybe
know.
you
So
should bring something with.
I'm going to. That's why I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. I'm totally bringing stones with me.
Bring some stuff with
Yeah.
you.
I
Just
don't
to
know if I will
assist.
be able to sage the room, but I have sage spray, so I think I'll bring that as well.
Yeah,
So, and then just
that'll
make
work.
sure, because when I don't know about you, but when I
Yeah.
stay in a hotel, oh,
I don't sleep
And
good in a
I
hotel.
don't sleep. Yeah, I don't
It's like
sleep.
sleeping in a cemetery.
Yes. Oh,
Like for me.
this one time, oh my lord, it was when we were actually moving to Lethbridge, and I
Oh
totally
yeah.
forgot. We had
Oh
stayed at a
no.
hotel, and we went and like stayed at this hotel, went to go to bed, and oh my god, the people that showed up,
Yeah.
it was
Hmm.
nuts. And
Yeah.
I I remember waking up in the morning
Yeah.
going, "What was that?" And then I realized I was like, "Oh God, I totally forgot to bring stuff." Like, oh, it was bad. So then I just kind of put it out there and asked like the angels to help and protect the room and put the white light and all that kind of stuff, and that did
Yes,
help. But
that's good.
still, they come in your dreams. Still, didn't matter how they appear. But yes, and same with
Hmm.
like Airbnbs.
Yeah, for sure. I have a
Yeah.
client who Airbnbs her basement out.
Oh,
So when I had cleared it, I was like, wow, there is so much energy down here. Just felt like so many people,
I bet.
it just felt like a community downstairs as
Yes.
opposed to upstairs where it just felt like one dwelling,
Yes.
you
Oh,
know? So yeah, and I have to say, I wish that more public places like that, hotels, motels, these places that you can stay in resorts, that they would actually just like clear these spaces once in a while. I think would be so awesome. Because
yes.
even though you can clear your room, there's like how many rooms, you know?
Yeah,
So, like
I do know.
big scale, right? And so it's
Yes.
just like, oh man, yeah, I
Do
don't
you
know.
know, like, this might get a little freaky, but
Hmm.
like, they literally are like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but like, they are roaming everywhere in a hotel or like an Airbnb. They are roaming.
Yeah.
And like Bev said, if you can do your room, but outside that room they're still around. So like
Hmm.
you can't really avoid them even when
Yeah,
you are out of your room. And
totally.
I stayed in an Airbnb in Winnipeg with my daughters, and she was having her wedding dress shopping, and it was an older home too,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
totally old, like attic and everything. We slept upstairs. It was crazy, and
Yeah.
I did bring some stuff,
Yeah.
but um I had a little girl visit me that day,
Well,
that night, and she just popped, right at the end of the bed. And I was like,
yeah.
no,
Oh gosh. Why at the end of the bed? I just
I
hate when they
know,
stand in the doorway or at the bed.
right? I know. And there she is just standing there. And I'm just like, like, no, no, no. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. Like, cause it was to nobody in the house. I know she was just there because she like, I don't know how to explain this, but like
Old.
she was old, but she was young. Like she was a little girl, but she was old because she was attached to the house from like
Yeah.
long, long
Long
time
time
ago.
ago. Yeah.
And I did try to get her to go to the light, but no, she still liked hanging around. She literally liked looking and watching us have a good time,
Oh
in
yeah.
this
Having
space.
company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just let her be. But I do remember
Yeah.
saying it to Chrissy because Chrissy shared the room with me, and she was like, "Oh, Mom, why'd you have to tell me
Thanks a lot.
that?"
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I
I
would
was like,
say.
"You're welcome." Oh, but
You're
it was so
welcome.
much fun, and
Yeah.
but at the same time, yeah, it's sometimes can get very overwhelming when I go to hotels or Airbnbs, and I will be bringing some stuff with me
Hmm.
this
I don't
week.
know. Anywhere I travel, even if I stay, typically even with certain family members too, I
Mm-hmm.
can be,
Yeah,
interrupted and
yeah.
bugged. I know we stayed at on Chris's side, we had kind of like a family reunion get together thing. And so we ended up staying at a bed and breakfast in Yorkton. And again, same thing, old
Mm,
house,
yeah.
just a beautiful place, but
Mm-hmm.
so much activity. And I was upstairs, so like way up the stairs,
Yeah.
basically in the attic is
Yeah.
where my room
That's
was.
where, yeah, that was like us.
There's this little boy, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody was bugged, even
Mhm.
everybody that was staying down in the basement. And I was like, God, I don't know what's worse, the basement or the attic. I don't know. There was no
Personally,
rooms on the main floor.
I say the basement. I personally don't really care for basements, but yeah,
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. What's worse? I don't know. But
basement for me.
he just appeared, he was standing there staring and then
I
and then appeared beside the bed. But for my sister-in-law who was downstairs in the basement, blankets were moving, touching of the feet, that sort
Mhm.
of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I felt actually bad. So like our brother Keith was just here visiting me, and he came for a session, and it was so funny. He was just laying there and just getting really relaxed. And then he felt this like touch
Hmm.
on his leg. He's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Sorry, somebody just came in." Oh, maybe he doesn't want this today. But yeah, it was funny. Poor
Yeah,
guy.
I know. But I will have to say, like, even when I come to visit you, I still bring my
Yeah,
stones with me anyway. Like, not that
yeah,
I know nothing. It's just a thing that I do now.
yeah,
Anywhere
of
I go,
course.
I just have stones with me. And when I go to visit Dwayne's family or whatever, I bring stuff with me all the time. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just to help make sure that I try to sleep.
I
So,
wonder if your people that you have in your house now are going to follow you and move with you to the new house,
well,
or if they're going to stay, or maybe you're going to get rid of them. Because I know when I come to your house, I don't bring my stones, and I get bugged all the time. And Dwayne would be like, "Oh, did you see that little girl in your nightgown?" Yes. Don't you just tell her to go away? Well, she's okay. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, actually, to tell you the truth, lately,
Hmm.
I don't even know if they're here anymore. Honestly.
Oh,
Yeah, I
maybe they
honestly
left.
don't. Yeah, I don't think that they're here because I had totally smudged the whole house on
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it was a couple days before the Lionsgate or something. It was a few days anyway, and I
Mm-hmm.
had smudged the whole house the entire like and like sometimes I'm lazy and I'll just smudge, certain rooms, whatever. But this time I smudged everywhere, like the whole house.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't feel them here. I really
Oh,
don't.
good.
I don't feel anything. Of course, I feel the spirit guides like mine and
Yeah,
Dwayne's, but I don't. I have not
that's
felt
good.
any um,
Any
people or
activity with
entities.
people.
Nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. So I think that I needed to do that, even just because, like I said, I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that the house was cleansed anyway before people were
Right.
coming to look at our house because,
Yeah.
we were putting it up for sale and moving and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't feel that there is anybody here
Yeah.
anymore.
That's
So,
good. They're like, she's clearing the whole house. So that's probably our exit. Not just like, whatever.
yeah.
Just clear here and
Yeah,
there. They're
yeah,
like, oh, sweet, we can linger.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now they're probably like, whoa, this is it. We're
yeah. I
leaving
meant
now.
business.
Serious. Get the hell out.
And it's not that I actually even like I just
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
like I really cleansed the house. Like I
Well,
was in
that's great.
every closet, every like
Gee, I should come for a visit now before you.
just so you can
Good
see.
time to come. Just so I can see and sleep and just not be bothered at your house.
I know poor Isabel. Isabel is Bev's daughter, and she and her friend
Yeah.
came to stay with us, and she said the same thing. She was like, I can't sleep. And I'm like, sorry. So it had
Sorry.
to have been after she left. So yeah, it was a
Yes.
couple days before the Lionsgate that I cleansed the whole house. So yeah.
So funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, really? You're not sleeping? Sorry about that. Don't care.
No.
No,
Honestly, you
that's
know
probably just
me.
because you don't want company to stay long. You're just like, perfect.
Yeah. They won't stay. No, you know me. I actually love having I do. I love having the spirits in my house. If they're not bothering
Oh,
me, I don't mind it. I don't. And like even with the old stuff, like I love old homes. Like they just
hmm.
give me this
They're
feeling
so
and
cool though.
I love them.
I just love
I
them. They have so much character.
yes, and
Yeah.
I love them so much and not even just that. It's just like well, you I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but you know this about me. And I do love cemeteries, and that's what it
Hmm.
gives me. It gives me that feeling of like I don't know. It's weird, I know, but
It is weird because, or interesting actually, because you're just talking about how much hotels bother you. And I was saying
yes,
hotels are like being in a cemetery. So you think you would be like right at home
I
in a
know, but not in
hotel.
a hotel. Not in a hotel. That's the only I
Oh,
think it's because they're new builds and they're just don't I
hmm.
don't feel that
Yeah. Like
it's
comfort.
weird. Yeah, it's weird. I know. It's weird. I
Yeah.
don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling when I do when I
No.
get into an old home or go to a
Yeah.
cemetery. It's totally different for
Hmm.
me anyway. And
I'm always jealous, of the people that are like, oh, I can sleep so well in a hotel. And I'm just like, really? It's like, wow, that's great.
I
Great
know.
for you.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could,
Also one of
but
the things why I don't like to travel, because then it's like, oh, I'm just tired. I know I'm going to be tired. As you travel to your destination, you're
yes.
tired. And then
Yeah.
the whole time I'm there, I'm just bombarded and I'm tired. And then
Yeah.
I have to travel home. And then I'm just like, then I
Yeah.
need like another vacation from my vacation, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
energetically anyway. So,
Yes. Yeah.
oh well. But
I know. Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway.
that's
Yeah.
that. So glad we
Yeah.
kind of touched on all of these things. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I just want to touch back on the mini reads.
Yeah.
If you would like a mini read, we will have that posted. Please reach out to us and let us know if you have a question that we can answer for you and get some insight or guidance for you. We'd love to be able to do that for you. So we
Yes.
super appreciate all of you and all of our listeners. And,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for tuning in with us Empath sisters. And we are
Yes.
wishing you guys, love, light, and gratitude wherever this may find you. And until next time.
Yes. Till next
Yeah.
time.
So
Take
take care,
care.
everybody.